I'm obsessed with this shirt. Ooh, there's some interesting stuff there. Oh, what is that fabrication? Oh, what is that attached there? Oh my God, there's so much going on here. Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite collaborations of all time. And I mean that. It might be like my favorite. I just think it was done so damn well. So today we are talking about the first collab between Moncler and Palm Angels. I have one of those pieces here. Let's pull this out. Dun, da, da, da. Ooh, bow, bow, bow. Why am I making this intro so obnoxious? Anyway, there you go. There she is. Palm Angels. Moncler. That is metal. We'll take a look. Don't you worry. So this piece was from the 8 Moncler X Palm Angels collection, part of their Genius collab series. I think it was one of the earlier ones. It was for the fall 2019 season. And it was just one of the greatest collections I've ever seen from a collaboration between two fashion brands. Because usually these things, I mean, there can be some really good collabs, but usually they're kind of a middle ground between the two brands' aesthetics, and that makes sense. You got two brands, they have their own ideas, their own views, and they're just kind of compromising things, and in the middle they find, you know, the easiest solution between the two. But the really interesting thing about this one is that the founder of Palm Angels, Francesco Ragazzi, was actually previously the artistic director for Moncler. So he had a great idea, like maybe a better idea than anyone, of the aesthetics of both of these brands. So he was able to go into it with a really clear concept, and he knew how to get it done within the voices of both brands. So the really interesting thing about Palm Angels is that it actually started as like a photography book. So Francesco, he made a book called Palm Angels about California skateboarders. So he then started the brand, and it was really that same vibe. He was trying to get like underground skate punk culture within fashion. So that was the idea. Whereas Moncler, it's a very kind of old fashioned, like European ski outerwear brand, like super luxury, super cool, but very different from California punks. But he understood perfectly what both of these brands do so well, and he was able to bring it together amazingly. It's really impressive what he was able to do here. So we're definitely going to take an in-depth look at this piece, but first let me show you this overall collection so you know what it was all about. But first, I've looked into it, and a very small percentage of you are actually subscribed to the channel. It's completely free. Just press that button and you will not regret it. Thank you so much. Okay, so first off, I just want to say that Francesco Ragazzi, for this collection, he really said that he wanted to make it look like a vandalized Jeff Koons installation, and you can actually really see that here, especially in the metallic nature of this coat. You can also see it in that like puffiness, like Jeff Koons sculptures, they have this kind of texture and feel to them. It's actually really fitting, and he really nailed it. But obviously it's super in your face. It's like a classic Maya style jacket, so it's super iconic, but then when you blow up that logo patch right there, you put it in these metallic, you know, like bronze and black, shiny, glossy. It's really cool. You'll recognize that t-shirt potentially a little bit. The pants are just absurd, like balloon pants, cool. Knit beanie, I don't know if I'm assuming the beanie and the sunglasses were part of it. I mean, they're fine. That bag is sick. It's like this day glow candy. It looks like a little pack of like sweet tarts or something on this bag. Moncler is a brand that I don't think of their bags at all. They just like don't rate for me when you compare them to like the Louis Vuittons and Gucci's and stuff like that. But this right here, this kind of like keep all style bag, that can like compete on that level. It's actually really cool, and I've never seen one of these outside of this photo shoot, so they must have been pretty limited and rare. So that's like super, super cool. He did it in like tons of colors with bottoms. These outfits are insane. I think those are two pieces. I'm pretty sure they're not jumpsuits. So you can definitely see those Jeff Koons vibes as well there. There's a better look at that bag. Really, really smart idea. This print, I could take or leave, but you really do start to get some of the Palm Angels vibes in there, is like the original Palm Angels, talking about the skateboarder book, because it does have that kind of like, it almost looks like a Sublime album cover or something, but I get the concept, but it doesn't really do it for me. This is probably one of the weaker pieces of the collection. Obviously, just getting more here. You can see those pants better in pink. Belt, studded belt, big logo badge in metal. It's just like really loud and in your face, and it's really taking the kind of purity and, I don't know, almost uniform aesthetic of a Moncler, and when you infuse it with that like really, really in your face, like classic Sex Pistols-y punk, almost mall goth, like a Hot Topic vibes, I don't know, for me it just works. This print here works better as bottoms for sure. It actually works a lot better. I love the kind of faded, slightly vintage style to this jacket. That's super cool. This striped beanie, fantastic. I don't know, it's just got the right aesthetic. You put this print on a striped sweater. Pair it with the beanie. These boots, I've never seen these boots in my life, but they're sick. That bag is fire. Like this as a this look is sick. So like you're getting the vibe. It wasn't the most expansive collection. It's really more of a capsule, a collection of, you know, I don't know what it was, a dozen pieces or something, but like he just nailed the look. And I think that's because he understands Moncler so well. Francesco Ragazzi was the artistic director for Moncler, and he left it to do Palm Angels. So he knows more than anybody how to combine these two brands' voices into one. And in this collection, he just absolutely crushed it. You get some jewelry too. Again, these are like super rare pieces. I do not see these ever. All you really see that much are the t-shirts and the jackets. But like there's some really sick pieces. You got a little like clutch laptop case here. Oh my God, this collection's insane, you guys. It's just a lot of fun, and it's really taking, even this fringe here, you can see some of these elements that Francesco took and later put into mainline Palm Angels. Like, it's a very, very clear melding of these two brands, and that's what I love about it. Obviously, he's going super maximal, even including, like, check tartan prints and stuff. Like, this hoodie was one of the more popular things from the collection. You see this semi-regularly. But those pieces are super expensive, like the Snow Angels big logo patch pieces. Those are like, woof, you're gonna break the bank on those, you feel me? And here's again, that vandalized installation type of thing with the big graffiti logo on the back, that massive Moncler logo underneath. It's just like, the maximalism is really in your face, but in a way that's actually, in most of these pieces at least, very different from the kind of logomania stuff at the time. Like, the branding isn't as massive as a lot of that all over Gucci Balenciaga prints that were everywhere back then. You even get fur. Again, never seen this piece in my life. Total grail status. I bet they made like 4 of them, maybe made like 1 in each size, and that was it. Oh, so there's the sunglasses. They say Palm Angels on the side. Those might actually just be Palm Angels sunglasses. I don't know. Again, mind control, big theme of this one. And there you have it. It's just like such a good marriage of two brands. And it's clear because Francesco, he understood both perfectly. He led one and founded the other. So like, he got it, and he went into this with a really clear point of view and just nailed it. Like, it might not be for you, but the clarity of vision is there, and that's something that collaborations don't usually have. Like, usually they're co-branded, and it's kind of a middle ground between the two brands, or it's way more towards one than the other, but this is just like the perfect 50-50 blend. I love it. I'm obsessed with this shirt. I'm obsessed with this shirt. It's super cool. It looks like a really simple long sleeve white t-shirt, but there's actually quite a bit going on here that make it really, really interesting. Like, ooh, there's some interesting stuff there. Oh, what is that fabrication? Oh, what is that attached there? Oh my God, there's so much going on here. But first, let's take a look at the back of the neck and see what's going on there. So no surprises here. We have a simple Moncler tag. These were not manufactured by Palm Angels or anything at their factories. They were manufactured by Moncler. This is a Moncler controlled collaboration. So it's a simple gray tag embroidered in there in blue and red. You've got the logo there on the left and then the Moncler print there. That takes up pretty much the whole length, and you can see it's kind of folded over there and stitched in these top corners right into that reinforcement at the back seam at the back of the neck there. You can see the kind of inverse colors when you turn it over there, and that little strip of red for the back, very, very clean. And you've got a little bit of additional stitching right there going through, and you can see that that's for this tiny little loop tag here. And this one, it's very long, and again, stitched in there, embroidered, made, and then you flip it over, in Italy. So that's actually really cool and shows the quality that they were going for here, because a lot of Moncler and Palm Angel stuff for their t-shirts, they are not made in Italy. A lot of the time they go for Portugal, countries like that. So the fact that they went to Italy for t-shirt production as well is actually a good sign of the quality here. And then off to the right of that, we have the kind of Genius tag here. So this is yellow, and it's stitched in with 2 black stitches right there, again, right into the bottom of that back seam. And this, I think, it's like a felt. Really, really smooth, kind of fleecy white feel on the back here. Super long. You can see, hold on, let me zoom out here. This will actually help out a lot. So this, when you pull it down from the back of the neck and let it sit, it falls right to about there in the print. So that's a really, really long piece of felt. It kind of reminds me of one of the off-white hang tags, something like that. And then printed on there in black, you've got Moncler Genius and this kind of window thing. And this has like 8 windows. I think that's for the 8 collections that they did. And that goes down, let's see, 1, 2, 3 times. And then it looks like that's it, but it's actually not. So what we have to do is we have to follow this seam down to the shoulder, and boom. First off, we get this little loop of fabric here, just the same fabrication as the shirt, it feels like. And this, I'm assuming, was for the retail tags for the retailer. And then just to the right of that, we have our size tag. And actually, one side is blank, and the other side in blue has that size. This one is L for large. But Moncler sizing has always been a little bit wacky, so that doesn't necessarily mean it'll fit like what you'd expect a large to fit like, and we'll definitely talk about that later. And now, before we get to the crazy, crazy details here, we have one more step to look at, and of course, those are the care tags that are inside the t-shirt. So these would be on your left side if you were wearing the shirt. And the first thing you get here is another like embroidered loop tag here, but this one is in black, a slightly kind of glossy black. And you've got Moncler in all caps, 8 Palm Angels, and then that logo up here on the right. And it looks like the top of that lines up with the top of Moncler. And this guy is stitched in just in the top left and top right in black, it looks like. Yep, black right into that side seam. The back of that is totally blank. And again, inside you can see the really clean inverse colors. Underneath that, we get into the care tags, and Moncler tags, they're really, really soft and kind of plasticky, satiny almost. So you can see those there. It's a big old stack of them. And way up at the top here, you get a page number. You know you got a lot of tags when you get a page number, and the model number. So a lot of Moncler stuff, it's SCOM, and that's no different here. 19, I'm assuming that's for the fall 19 season. Then you get the company info, just as industries, and you can see how spaced out that is. They always do that, and it's always kind of weirded me out. Then in bold centered, you get the model name. This is the Maglia Girocolo. Model number, 2 model numbers there. You could definitely, and I'd very much suggest that you look those things up when you get it to make sure that your actual piece is what shows up. If something else shows up, that's usually not a very good sign. Then you get made in Italy in tons of different languages with kind of, well, why can't I come up with the word? With slashes separating them. Then a bit of space, and then, whoa, what is that? Like 14 different washing symbols. This one's a single tag, and on the back of it, gets into washing instructions, again separated with slashes. Bit of space down at the bottom there. Washing instructions continue, more space, and some more. Fun, fun. And they continue down to various languages, Arabic down there at the bottom. And on the back of that, finally, we get fabrication. So in bold, it has the percentage, and then the fabric, so 100% cotton, and then tons of space here. Obviously, if you had a piece with more different types of fabrication, more space would be taken up. Then it gets into some interesting info, and again, you can see that model number way up at the top there, kind of under the fold hidden. So about the printed garment, the printing and stuff. On the back of that, you've got the Arabic and then a ton of space. And then it looks like the same info in Japanese, Chinese, something like that. And the back of that one is blank. And then, very importantly, we get our Serta logo. So every Moncler piece should have this, at least every one from the past 5+ years, I would say. As long as you have care tags, you should have a Serta logo. So under my thumb here is a QR code, and you can just scan that with your smartphone and put in all the info they ask for, and it will tell you if your piece is real or not. So absolutely do that. And you also get their little logo RFID badge here. Take a look at that, how clean it is, because a lot of the fakes do this quite badly. And that guy is a loop tag. And on the back of that, it has some more model info, sizing, RFID stuff, and model numbers. And that's that. Whew, that was a lot of tags, you guys. All right, now we can get into actually looking at this shirt. So first things first, let's start front and center with this graphic. So this actually sits a bit lower than you'd expect. Most graphics usually hit the chest right about here, but this one's a bit lower, kind of slightly more centered towards the bottom of the chest. And what we've got here, we've got a black print, and it's kind of weird, it's kind of punky, guy with a big spiky mohawk and a weird brain inside, so that one's pink on black. Inside that, you get that mind control print. That was a really big theme of this collection. And then underneath that, you get this felt logo. So this actually raises out of the shirt itself, and you can feel it. It's got a felt texture to it. It's really, really nice and like a striking red. And you also get this little burst of spray paint here in red. This is kind of a motif that Palm Angels uses a lot. They do it on shirts, they do it on masks. They love just putting a pop of kind of spray paint graffiti on stuff, and it's no different here. So they put it right there underneath the print. And then if we follow the arm over, we get that logo badge, which is maybe the most insane element of this piece. So this is right on like the outside of the bicep, and you can see it's like a gold piece. I mean, it's just metal. It's like painted a mustard yellow gold color, but that's the Moncler logo here in that shape. And then sitting on top of it in purple, you have the Palm Angels logo. It's really, really cleanly done. It's like pretty heavy. It feels significant, you know, it doesn't feel cheap or anything. And it's got a bit of a curve to it as well, if you look at it from this side. And you can see that that's stitched in. They've made a little kind of dents into the piece where they've got this white stitching coming in multiple 5 areas there around the logo, and that's what's keeping it into the arm. And, you know, when I first got it, I was afraid, like, how does this stay on? I feel like this is going to rip off or something. But when you're wearing it, it actually does feel really solid, and it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. And of course, this is a play on the kind of felt logo badge that pretty much, you know, 90% of Moncler pieces have, either at the chest or at this spot on the arm. They will stitch in a felt badge, but here they've done it in metal, so it's really just kind of raising the bar and taking it to that next level of quality and luxury, really. And then the last major print is on the back here. So going across that in a really simple font, you've got Mind Control in all caps, but then you've got these logos on either end of that, both on the left and the right. And there's kind of a decent space between the beginning and ends of the words where that logo sits. And then the last really unique element here is actually the cut. you might not be able to tell that well, but there's actually a cutout here because this piece is paneled. It's really cool. So here's the neckline, right? You follow that over to the shoulder, and right here you can see a stitch beginning. It's like a reverse stitch. So you follow that, it goes all the way down the shirt to the hem right here. So this right here is a distinct panel, as you can see, and then you've got a middle panel here, which comes out higher, and then this is a panel here. So it creates a really interesting look, almost like an H or something, and I don't really know why it's there, but it's cool and it elevates it beyond being just your simple long sleeve white t-shirt. So I mean, I appreciate any elements that do that. And Palm Angels is really, really good at taking just those little single elements, tweaks to throw into a piece to elevate it like that. So I love that. All right, now that we've checked all of that out, let's try this piece on to see how it feels and see how it fits. All right, first let's talk about the fit, because often, for good reason, people want to know about Moncler pieces sizing because they can get wacky. So if you know much about Moncler, you've owned their pieces before, you will know that generally Moncler fits a full size small, if not more. However, with this piece, I would say that's not quite the case. This is tagged a size large, and I think it fits quite close to a true to size large. It might be a little bit small, like 2/3 of the way between a medium and a large, but overall, I'd say it's just about true to size. So I usually wear a size small, but I wanted an oversized fit here, and I wasn't sure if it would fit small, so I went with a large here, but I'm happy I did. I think it looks good, although it is a bit oversized on me. So for these pieces, these Moncler Palm Angels pieces, I would suggest going with your normal size. The feel of it is great. It's a pretty thin cotton. It's simple, it drapes well, it's really breathable, it's not stiff in any way, shape, or form, so that works perfectly for me. I also really like that kind of cutout. It makes it interesting to kind of tuck into your pants, do a kind of French tuck, and have the sides coming down. There's some really interesting options for wearing it there. So I'm really psyched to start wearing this thing all the time. It's super comfy. I think it looks super cool. And I'm so psyched to have a piece from this really, really amazing collaboration between these two brands. So that is what a real Moncler X Palm Angels shirt looks like. Oh, such a good collab. I'm so hyped on it. So take a look at the other video on screen here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.